Hey everybody, welcome back to the Half Hour of Power. I am Joe. Brandon is here.
Yo, yo, Joe, what do you know?
Hey Brandon, how you doing? You having a good week?
Well, yes, sir, I am having a great week. Sitting here watching my BBC Dracula. I really am.
What? Wait.
Wait, what?
This BBC Dracula you're watching, it does not it is not a co-production with Netflix, is it?
Netflix? Are you serious?
Oh
Come
my
now.
God.
Come now. BBC's
Okay,
out now. Don't
yeah,
do
so
that.
so BBC did very recently a co-production with Netflix, Dracula. You're not talking about that one, are you? Because
Oh,
I'm not watching that one again. I don't care what you say. I'm not watching that again.
well, it's
Which one are
out.
you talking about?
I am talking about Count Dracula 1977.
Yeah. Okay, good. I was hoping we'd watch the same one because the BBC has like three of them. They have this one. They did another one in 2006, and then they did the most recent one. I've not seen the one in
Yeah, the one
2000.
pretty obnoxious it was. It was really obnoxious.
Well,
I don't like it that much.
all right, very good. So now we are coming back from 1931, stepping out of the black and white, jumping back into the 70s, which this is the third Dracula film of the 70s we're doing right now. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I had to drop the British accent. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. Uh, um, yeah, so this is called Count Dracula, the BBC production from 1977, and this one is pretty long.
Yes, it's the longest Dracula movie I ever watched.
It is 155 minutes.
And if you need to add that up, that's 2 hours and some change.
Yeah, it's like 2:30.
But it's the best 2:30 I
Oh,
ever.
okay. Okay. So here we are now. So this is our what, sixth Dracula?
Is
Sixth
it?
Dracula movie, sixth adaptation. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
so. So 31. Yeah. Anyway, so here we are up to this one. This one stars Louis Jourdan, Frank Finlay as Van Helsing, and the only other person I recognized in there's two people rather. Let me see. Judi Bowker, who does she play in it? There's your trivia right now. We're gonna start right now. Who she play?
She played Mina. Mina. She played.
Okay, very so. Um, I remember her the most from the Clash of the Titans, the 1981 Clash of the Titans, the good
Oh.
one,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say which one.
the good one. That's right. Um, which she was fantastic in. She does mostly worked in mostly television, did a lot of theater also. But she played Andromeda in Clash of the Titans, and here she gets to play Mina.
Yeah.
And I think she's fantastic in this.
Yes.
Um, also,
I
I think she is a fantastic Mina.
I agree.
But before we go into the rest, see how Dracula is and how Renfield, and everybody else we've come to know and love over these past few movies. What do you think Rotten Tomatoes has to say about this adaptation of Dracula?
Wait, this is on Rotten Tomato.
Absolutely.
Wait, I thought it was a T. Wait, so okay.
Oh wow! How Rotten Tomatoes has everything. It has TV shows, movies, videos, direct-to-video movie, not just theatrical release. I mean, everything is.
Wow. I
You know,
just
you can rate and review everything nowadays, Brandon.
oh
Everything.
well, I always thought Rotten Tomato was just, hey, we just do movies. I didn't know they did TV series and stuff like that too. So that shows you that I'm way out of touch. Um,
That's right. That's right. So what is your critics' guess for Rotten Tomatoes?
Critic guess for Rotten Tomatoes, I'm gonna say it was a good 85.
Absolutely right. 0.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So according to Rotten Tomatoes, there are 0 critics reviews. So 0 critics ratings. So these stuck-up snobs have not come over to Rotten Tomatoes to give it a review.
Oh, so Rotten Tomato don't and rate movies from over there neither. I'm not getting it.
Well, I mean, none of the critics have taken the time to go on Rotten Tomatoes and review this Count Dracula. That's all that says.
Oh,
But there is an audience rating. So what do you think that is?
well, I'm gonna say it's 65 because I think a lot of people slept on this just because one it's a BBC, so it here unless it was on PBS. So I say 65.
You ready?
Yeah.
78.
What?
78%. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Very
Great.
nice score for this.
Yeah. I can't even get mad at it. That is wow. Wow.
Absolutely. Yes. So, um, this one is the one that I feel is the closest to the book. Did you get any further in the book?
I did get further in the book, and I agree from how much I have, well, not read, how much I listened to. Um, yeah, it was hitting a lot of um key things from the book that kind of just blew me away. Um, when they talked about, yeah, I can't even talk. When he gets there, when he gets there, and Dracula presents himself, and he tells him all these things about the servants and stuff not being there, and I was like, "Whoa, that's like dead on," you know. So it's
Yeah,
things
a
that,
lot of that in the beginning.
yeah,
Like I said, a lot of that they use just take the dialogue straight out of the book and plopped it right down on their script.
basically, yeah.
This one, yeah, I mean, this one to me absolutely follows the book, the absolute closest. And we are going to have some people, and they're still there for some reason, and they can think that if they want that the Francis Ford Coppola movie is the closest to the book.
Okay, so
Okay. Yeah, I mean, go right ahead. I mean, it's the fun thing is this is all our, it's all our opinions about it. But
right, but uh, okay, so the Coppola Bram Stoker Dracula. Don't get me wrong. It's an iconic film because at the
wait,
time,
wait, 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 wait.
what?
Stop you right there because we haven't watched it yet again to get ready for the show, right? And you used a term with that movie that I am not amused by.
Oh, sorry. Let me
No, no,
rephrase.
you're going to have to justify using the term iconic and Francis Ford
Oh,
Coppola's Bram Stoker's
well,
Dracula in a
well,
sentence.
let me.
You used iconic with that.
Reason why I say iconic is because
All right, all right. Go ahead, go ahead.
The reason why I use it because the the fact of so many spoofs, so many people talk about it a lot more because of certain scenes that was in the movie. So it's always been televised, publicized, read up, made fun of more than any other Dracula movie that I can think of. So that's
Besides
I
Bela
say
Lugosi.
they don't count.
Oh, it counts. That's been, yeah, I mean, what you're saying, yeah. But anyway, we are going to get to Bram Stoker's Dracula, so we'll go into that when we get there. But I mean, for me, this one is the closest to the book that has been put on screen. It's
True.
got problems, right? I mean,
Yo,
this one has problems. It's not a perfect movie. It's not the perfect translation. It does not have the entire complement of vampire hunter, does it?
no, but there's no
It has
story in it.
what's that? There's
There's
no who?
no freaking love story.
That's right. That's not a love story. But this is very funny because this is billed as the opening of it is billed as a big gothic romance, I believe. What was that title card at the beginning?
Was it? Did it say that?
Remember that? It did say that. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to pull that back up there. It's supposed to say, yeah, there it is. A gothic romance is what it's billed in the beginning of the movie. It's a gothic romance based on Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean,
I mean,
Harker loves Mina. I mean, there is that romance. There is Lucy who loves in this version Quincy. So let's talk about the characters a little bit here.
okay,
So there is no Arthur Holmwood.
no,
What they did is they combined Arthur Holmwood with Quincy Morris, and they called him Quincy Holmwood. He is Texan in this.
oh God, is he Texan?
He is Texan. So I mean, really, technically, this really is the first one that really had Quincy in it. There was another movie, and by now, I know we talked about it on that show. There is another movie that had a character named Quincy in it. He really wasn't Quincy. He was Arthur also, wasn't he?
No, it was Quincy.
Well, what I mean is the character in the movie was basically just
Oh
Arthur
yeah,
Holmwood, but they named him Quincy also, but his last name was, I don't know. Did they call him the same thing? Now I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. But anyway,
yeah,
there
'cause
was another movie that had a character named Quincy. Um, but yeah, he is Texan. The guy does use he tries to use a Texas accent.
yo, did he use a Texan accent? All right. Whoa
He's
there,
got
little lady.
he's got the best line in the movie, and you just heard a little bit of that from Brandon. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
He actually does say that, so there's a little more on there.
Well, it's
Uh,
like a lot more on there.
so
It's
yeah,
just
so
I
and
do it.
also in this one, Mina and Lucy are sisters in this,
Yes.
which they're not in the book, of course.
No.
So Dr. Seward is in it. Dr. Seward is, I mean, he's pretty much correct, right?
Yep. He is.
I mean, he runs his sanatorium. He runs that. He's
So that
yeah.
part it confused me. So is it a sanatorium or asylum?
I don't know. I think maybe it's my fault. I'm using those terms interchangeably, and I don't really know if they are interchangeable. But
Because I believe in the book it said asylum.
well, we'll call it asylum. So that is my bad.
Oh God.
But yeah, so he's right. Renfield, he's pretty much right in this.
Yes.
I mean, I would have liked there to have been just a little bit more with Renfield, but I mean, Renfield pretty much does what Renfield does in the book. I think the guy who played Renfield did a good job. That is Jack Shepard. He is a. I recognized him, but I don't know if I've seen him in anything else. He's probably one of those faces that you're watching a movie and you go, "Oh, I know that guy. I've seen that actor before. He's one of those guys."
Well,
He's
at
done a
first,
lot of
the
stuff.
I thought he was the 12th Doctor on Doctor Who? That's who I thought it was, but it wasn't him.
Yeah, he's not in Doctor Who. But I mean, you did bring up this does have a bit of a Doctor Who connection,
Oh, it has more than a Doctor Who connection. I can tell you that much.
since you're going to bring that up.
Yeah, because it has the Doctor Who, Narnia, Dark Shadow.
So this was a big, lavish, prestigious BBC production,
Yes, it was.
and there was a Doctor Who serial about vampires
It
that
sure was.
they were doing around the same time. So they stopped. They didn't make that one yet. They made it a few years later,
Mm-hmm.
and that was with the best Doctor, Tom Baker. Yeah. Now, for all you Doctor Who fans, freak out and tell me this other guy was better. I have an admission to make, and I'll make it right here since we are talking about BBC. I have not seen any Doctor Who beyond Christopher Eccleston,
What?
but I've seen everybody else. I just haven't watched those yet. It's not that I don't want to. I just haven't.
You haven't
All right,
seen?
now that we got that out of the way, let's get back into this. We got that Doctor Who stuff.
I like how you
Doctor,
split
Doctor Who
it
connection is
out.
done there. So I thought he did a pretty good job as Renfield. He is not Dwight Fry,
No, it's not
so
Dwight.
I would have loved to have seen Dwight Fry do this. I think we'll get. So yeah, I think we said Seward was pretty good. The lady that played Lucy, what do you think? Was she good?
She was no, she was excellent. She played
Yeah, Lucy pretty
played
good. Yeah, I mean overall it's a really good cast. So who is that? Suzanne. I can't say that last name.
I'm not even going to try.
Penhaligon. I'm sorry, my bad.
That's why I
Don't
didn't.
know. Yeah, she's good. Now this also has two other characters, and I think that this is the only movie that has this character in it, and that is Lucy's mother.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this is the only screen version that has Lucy's mother in it. That was a
All the Dracula movies that we have watched, they never had Lucy's mother in it.
okay, good. Yeah. So because in the book, it's like they don't want to upset her mother with Lucy being sick because her mother is sick. So they're trying not to exasperate her illness.
Right.
But of course, did you get to the part with her mother yet in the book?
No, not yet.
Well, she dies. So there you go.
Well,
I spoiled it for you.
spoiler alert.
And everybody else who hasn't read the book, her mother dies. So there. Now go read the book and see how. Tell me.
Or listen
Right.
to it. One of the two.
Well, however you choose to read the book, if you choose to read it or listen to it, that it's still the same. Well, okay. So Jonathan Harker, the guy that played Harker, he did a pretty good job, I thought. What do you think?
He did okay.
Oh, you weren't impressed.
I wasn't.
I mean, he did what Harker's supposed to be.
I didn't see a lot of John Harkers.
Exactly. We're seeing a lot. We are. So I mean, he did a pretty good job. Now we're gonna get down to. Okay, so the other character who
Oh gosh.
I made note of, Mr. Swales. So as far as I could tell, Mr. Swales is only in one other movie, and that is the sexy, steaming pile of lust movie with Frank Langella. and he's an orderly in that. So, I mean, kudos for them using his name. But this one actually uses Mr. Swales correctly. Lucy and Mina encounter this fellow as they're sitting above the sea, watching the waves smash up against the rock. It's just interesting little bits in the book when he talks to them. Uh, did you get to that part in the book?
Yes, and he dies.
Oh, you gave that away. So
Oh,
there you go. Don't you
spoiler,
can't get
spoiler alert. Sorry.
gave that away. So just like I gave away the mother, good job, Brandon.
Well, fine.
So that's interesting. I mean, that didn't really take much long, and he's shorter in this movie than he is in the book. So I mean, I think this adaptation just goes to show that you could do more from the book than I think they could blah, excuse me.
We
I
cannot
think the
talk.
filmmakers could do more, could put more in their movies from the book than they think.
Yes.
I mean, this movie is only 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, so
And most movies nowadays, for some reason, their running times are always over 2 hours. And they're pushing like 240 most of the time now, a lot of the times.
well, the thing is,
So you could make this movie if somebody wanted to, they could make Dracula and they could give it a nice 230, 240 running time. And you could have so much from the book that it's just unbelievable. And this one has so much from the book. It's so easy.
yeah, but
Just
like,
just a little character like Mr. Swales and Lucy's mother that you think, well, that's just going to detract from the running. It's going to slow it down. I don't think it did any of that in this. What do you think?
oh, so what so you're right. It's it you're right, spot on about the whole thing. Because what I was going to say is like to please the audience, you don't have to like make the full thing of certain characters that's in the book as long as you add them in the book. Don't matter. I mean, add them in the movie or in the TV series as long as they're there, even if it be a small role or just a cameo or mention of their name. It shows that you're paying attention to the source material. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I kind of like this movie because they actually paid attention to the source material.
Yeah.
And I think this is the only one that didn't base it off the screenplay too, because majority of the ones I've been watching is based off the screenplays.
Which screenplays? Are you talking about the stage play?
Yeah, stage play.
So the Spanish version, the Lugosi version, the Langella version are all based on stage plays. So that's 3 movies.
Yeah,
And we just watched the Jess Franco version, which that had a bunch of little stuff in it too, but it's all in like the wrong spots. A
right,
lot of things, I think. So yeah, so I mean, just baffles me, just blows my mind. How do you not have that stuff? Like Dracula is dressed correctly in this.
right.
Now, the thing that they didn't do with Dracula is he does not have a mustache and he is not an old man in the beginning.
True.
Now, we're going to get to the actor that played Dracula. So, who is that?
Louis Jourdan. 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 Did I say that correctly?
I think so. I always think I say his name wrong. I don't know. I remember him best from Swamp Thing.
Really?
You don't remember that? Where do you remember him best from?
Nothing.
What? Okay, so he played Anton Arcane in the Swamp Thing movie, the Wes Craven movie from 1982 with Adrian Barbeau. Fantastic movie. That's right. It is fantastic, Brandon.
Well, he played it.
um,
He played an
the
Octopussy.
other thing, yeah, that's the other thing. He was also in James Bond. He was the villain in Octopussy. But yeah, I remember him best from the Swamp Thing the most. That's what I see. He's done a lot though. So I mean, he's also another one of those faces where it's like I know that face, right?
Yeah, and most of the people that I know that are older, they always have makeup on their face.
Yeah. So he is not old. He does not have a mustache, but he's dressed correctly, and I thought he was a fantastic Dracula. I thought he did a fine job.
No, he did a
Of course,
great.
I'd rather see Christopher Lee in this, but
Well,
I didn't.
really got the
But anyway, I thought he did a great job playing Dracula. He was, I mean, if it's not Christopher Lee, I think he did a fine job in this. What was doing in this, and it's interesting some of their takes on playing Dracula. So I think we talked about this. Christopher Lee said that he played Dracula as if Dracula wanted to get caught. He wasn't going to make it easy for you, but he felt like Dracula was done and he wanted to be caught.
Hmm.
And Louis Jourdan said that he's playing Dracula and he tried to see Dracula is okay. Where is it? I lost it. Pull this tab. There it is. There it is. What's so interesting about playing Dracula is I try to make monstrosity, or if you prefer, villainy, attractive. If we succeed, we have won the day. If the audience can be troubled enough to say that maybe Dracula is right in what he says, then we have won. He is an angel, a fallen angel. And that's kind of interesting because, as we'll get to, that's what that fallen angel bit, that's what Gary Oldman said. Uh, so
Mm,
it's just kind of fun. But anyway, here's the rest of the quote. I think Dracula should be played as an extremely kind person who truly believes he is doing good. He gives eternal life. He takes blood, he gives blood, therefore. He gives an exchange which is symbolic of love and a sexual act, such as in the scene that we just did, where he was giving Mina his blood to drink.
yeah, that was an awesome scene too.
It was a good scene. Now, it's a little bit different from the book because in the book, she doesn't want to do that. I mean, I think in the movies they play it more like they're under the count's spell, his
Well,
power,
it
so
looked like
they kind of have to. Because in the book, he's like holding her arms out with one hand and forcing her to drink.
well, that's what it looked like in this one. Like she seemed like she didn't want to do it.
Yeah, she didn't want to do it, but she was, and yeah, and what I mean is, uh, he didn't hold her arms out and like pull her to his chest. You know what I mean? But in the movies, I guess it's a little cooler to just kind of have them under that hypnotic spell to where they can't resist and they have to go do it. Which
Uh,
I think was a fine way to do it because yeah you're right, she didn't want to do it in this movie, whereas in other Dracula movies they want to do it and they love it.
like Frank Coppola, but yeah, we're not talking about that right now.
That's right. And Frank Langella's, she loved it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's Franklin jealous, so what can you do?
I know he was a molten mountain of lust in that. So yeah, I thought he did a good job. What did you think? I don't know if we ever got you saying what you thought of him being Dracula.
Who?
Louis Jourdan, how was he?
He was great. He was scary. I'll tell you that much. Because he was giving you that, like you said, he's nice, genuine. Like he said in this quote. And the thing is like, but you kind of scary at the same time. Like when he brought that baby in, he literally
Oh
dropped that bag like they do in the book. He literally dropped the bag.
yeah,
And I'm like, well, what's in the bag? It's a whole baby in the bag. And he was just his face, you know, it was just like so calm and cool and just like, I have you a gift in the
yeah,
bag. Yes, I love you. Come, hold me, come. I'm sitting.
yeah. And they got those lines where they're like, "You don't know anything of love." Yes, I too know of love. I mean, that's in the book.
All
Those
right.
lines are in the book. You remember
Um,
those?
Yeah, and I was sitting there like, whoa, like this dude is creepy as hell. Like,
Yeah, that is always a fantastic scene, and I don't think they ever really. This one did a good job of it, but you never get. I don't think any of the movies has this bit in it where some of them will have the mother coming to the castle. I think Jess Franco's had the mother of the baby come to the castle because she knew Dracula had it.
yeah, she was
But
beating up.
I don't think they tell you what happens to her. Dracula summons wolves and has her killed.
Yeah, yeah, I heard it in the book. Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, in the movies, like, how do you not put that in the movie? It's terrifying, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I mean, he's a vampire. He could go out there and drink her blood or send the wives out, but what does he do? Summons the wolves and has her torn to pieces.
And see,
What?
that's scary stuff, man. I'm telling you. Oh, I don't want to
Yeah, I
bother.
mean that's like let's put that in the movie, you know? No, let's not put that in the movie.
Well,
Let's
he,
make Dracula all sexy and stuff, and make him have a reincarnated love.
well, yeah, that's a
But
little.
let's not do the horror stuff. Okay. But anyway, we're gonna get on this weird little tangent here.
I
I
did
want to
like.
get to. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I like him climbing on the building. I did like that.
Yeah. So I think this one is the first movie to actually do that.
So weird how he
Uh,
did it, but still.
yeah, it looked very bizarre. The way they did it, it looked a little weird. Because he was like he's supposed to be crawling down the building, and he's just kind of like
Flapping down the building.
looking around and flapping down there like he's a bat. I mean, it was kind of neat, but it just looked a little off, a little weird. Um, yeah. So, but anyway, I think this is the first one to actually do that, where he goes down the wall like that, and Jonathan sees him, which that was pretty cool.
Yeah, more than.
But let's get to Van Helsing.
Oh yeah.
This guy, this Van Helsing, and we've been talking about this.
Yes.
I think this is the closest Van Helsing to the book. This guy is, and I think the actor did a fantastic job.
He did a great job.
That,
Frank Finlay.
that
Finlay.
yeah, Frank
Yeah.
Finlay, yes,
Sorry if we
yes,
messing up the name. Sorry.
yeah. So he was fantastic. Now he's yeah, I mean he's done a lots of stuff. So I mean he's another one of those actors you would have seen him in. He was actually in the Black Adder.
Was he in the Black Adder?
Yeah, he was in the Black Adder. And if you don't know what the Black Adder is, shut off this podcast and go
Oh,
watch the Black Adder.
yeah. If you don't know what that is,
What is the matter with you?
something's wrong.
Yeah, so a lot of TV
What?
stuff, a lot of did some movies there. There's a Three Musketeers he was in. Is that the yeah, that's the one with that's Michael York. That's right. Yeah, so I mean he was fantastic. I think his hair is right. I liked his hair. I don't know. I mean he's not Peter Cushing, but this is going to be difficult to say. But I'm going to say it. I
Uh,
think he was a better Van Helsing than Peter Cushing.
what?
And see, that makes me wonder if Peter Cushing had a Van Helsing written like this guy's Van Helsing was written,
Oh,
how
dude.
would Peter Cushing have been? Is the thing, you know.
Dude.
That's the main thing. He had a very well written Van Helsing, and I really think this is the closest to the book of Van Helsing that has ever been. Still not, still not 100% not perfect, but it's like they really, really tried with this movie. They tried so hard that it puts everybody else to shame who's ever adapted Dracula.
So I'm going on Frank's filmography, and he played a lot of stuff that I have watched and not know that was him.
Yep,
Wow, like
absolutely.
in the Musketeers Three Musketeers, The Four Musketeers Returns.
Yep.
I watched that.
Yep.
And Sherlock Holmes. Wow. This guy, wow. And also The Christmas Carol.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they did a lot. So I mean, and there's two scenes in this movie that I was took mental notes on when I was rewatching this. I mean, I've seen this one a couple of times before. Um, the one scene where they find the child that was attacked by Lucy, I thought was brilliant.
Yes, it was.
And I was like, that's the Van Helsing from the book, where he finds the child. Um, the child had been attacked by Lucy, calls him, of course, the Bloofer lady. And he's like so caring, not wanting to scare the child, wanting to get the child out of danger, wanted to make sure the child was okay.
Yep.
And just the way
Oh,
he handled the scene, it was just top notch. And then the other scene, and I forget which girl it was. I forget if it was Lucy or Mina, but he just I think he had just gotten there. So it must have been Lucy, and he was like helping her take a drink, and he's the care he took in doing that, and the way that I think he'd done that scene. You know, he lifted her head up to help her drink, and he told her what he was doing, and that it was just so well done. I thought, like, that's the Van Helsing from the book. Those two scenes right there is definitely Van Helsing from the book. And then I started thinking, Anthony Hopkins would have scared the crap out of these two people if his Van Helsing was in this.
oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just, of course, there again, that's a little unfair to Anthony Hopkins. If Anthony Hopkins had a Van Helsing that was written like this Van Helsing, I think he would have been really good too.
Well, and Anthony Hopkins, he's a great actor. Um, the only thing is like them. He was kind of like playing like almost like a vagabond, like in Frank Coppola's Bram Stoker Dracula.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We'll get more. We'll get there more. Let's see. Let's go down some of these a little bit. So, um,
Now, I do have a question for you, Joe.
uh-huh.
So the Sacramento wafer? Is that what it's called? I'm not for sure.
Yeah, the blessed host,
Blessed
blessed
hope.
sac.
Okay, so
Yep.
my question is, are they really decorated like that? Because he had a whole bunch of them that had crucifixes and stuff on them. Don't don't
Yes,
don't you eat
you
that?
can get those decorated like that. Yes.
But don't you eat it?
Yeah.
Huh? Because he was like crunching them up in a circle from the three brides. I was like, and he burnt Nina on the head with one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah. All that's in the book.
really.
Her getting burned on the head is in the book. Yeah.
Well, every other the movies I have seen recently when they burn her on the head, it's a cross.
Yeah. So she gets burned on the head with the blessed sacrament.
Right. A little bit confused on that, but wait.
Mm-hmm.
In the recent movies you watched, they burnt Lucy on the head with the cross, not Mina.
Yeah. Yeah. The couple of ones we were watching. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that is in the book. I mean, like we were talking about the opening. The
Yeah.
opening is really well done. The once Jonathan escapes, I mean, it's not really clear how he escaped, but
Well, I also
there,
told you they never.
there are the nice scenes that we were talking about,
Yeah.
and I can't remember which Dracula show we're talking about where they actually show this where Jonathan is like, I would like to leave. I'm a prisoner. I'm tired of being here. And Dracula's like, well, go leave.
That was Count
He
Dracula.
goes over there. He opens up the door, and there is Wolf's there, and Louis Jourdan is like, yeah, don't want to leave, huh? So they put that in this movie
Well, also too,
right there. It's great, great scene in the book. But
but
they hardly ever do that in the movies. This one did it.
well, they didn't have the Demeter in it in this movie.
Yeah, that's one of the things. There's like that's why I think it needed to be maybe a 3 hour Dracula movie. You could do it
Mm,
because yeah, there's not enough of the boat in it, and the boat scene's not that long. Honestly, I mean, it wouldn't take that much to
no,
do it. Um, yeah, but yeah, that I mean that could probably some of the things they didn't put in, they probably would add another 20, 30 minutes tops.
mm,
Like you didn't really get to see much blood transfusion stuff in this one, right?
right. I think I only seen one.
And they do it a lot in the book. I mean, it's kind of you don't really need to do it all the time in there. You just do it a couple of times for each character, and you're like, I mean, each one that needed it, right? Um,
All right.
but there's a lot. There's a lot of that great stuff is in it. Um, trying to so yeah, so there. Okay, there it is. So one of the other things that they didn't do in this movie is Mina is incredibly important to them hunting Dracula in the book.
Yes.
And they kind of show that, but they don't really show how important. And I don't think any movie has done this at all. Because
I mean, they did it more
it,
than any other movie I've seen so far.
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this gets the kudos for trying. Because Mina, she gives Van Helsing Jonathan's journal to read.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
And that really is one of the things that gets Van Helsing into going, oh, we need to take another path. This might be what's really happening. And she collects Dr. Seward, because he's recording it, a voice recording. She asks permission to take his journal entries that he recorded that are relevant to what they're doing, and she transcribes them.
No.
Yeah, so she is the one that puts everything together. She is the one who goes through and collects things from newspapers and is like, well, this is strange. And she takes it and put it all together. And there's like a scene in the book where they all are like discussing what they've read and done and the next course of action when they're planning on, well, how do we take out Dracula?
Yeah, because you know
Which,
the thing about what you're telling me is like I've been in the book. The book is, and all the viewers out there, if you never read or listened to the Bram Stoker Dracula, you might want to do that because the book is very, very exciting. You know, watching the movies or
yeah,
the books is
you
very
get,
exciting.
you get all these adaptations and not just like this adaptation that's an adaptation of the novel. You get all these other things where they think that they think the book's been done on the movie, and it really hasn't. I mean, this one gets it, but there's other things that we haven't gotten into that it falls short on.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it's like, and I read all these interviews with these people making these Dracula things, and they just don't get it. They keep saying, we need to make something for modern audience. We need to do this. We need to change this. I want to put my spin on it. Like, no, no. The bold, daring thing to do would be to make this book a movie and to make the book a movie. And I got to say it again, to make the book a movie. I don't give a flying crap about what your spin on Dracula is, you ding dong filmmaker, screenwriter. Nobody's done it.
No.
I'm looking at you, James V. Hart. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I couldn't help it. But, you know, there's just all these articles from these people like, I'm going to make this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this with Dracula. Because you know what? We've never seen Dracula like this before. You know what? We've never seen Dracula. So just stop. Stop it.
Sure.
But, you know, I've gone on this weird little tangent and I will stop it. You did not stop me. So I
It was something that needed to be said.
well, thank you, but just you got to stop me
So,
sometimes. So, all right. So, but anyway, um, I think we've gone over a whole bunch about what this movie did right that they could do. That they, it just proves that you can make this book a movie, and you can do it. And I'm thinking probably 3 hours, maybe just a little under 3 hours would be a nice running time for it.
yeah, I,
The
they
I mean,
added.
the acting in this is fantastic, as we've said. Some of the things that is not good. This movie shows its age. It's made for TV. It shows its age with the effects. They are TV effects. They are. We would joke and call them video toaster effects.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So there was this thing. It's called the video toaster, and it had. I didn't use it a lot. A friend of mine used it a whole lot, and that's what he would say a lot. And then when we got to actually use one, they're this. I mean, these are video effects, really.
Hmm.
And you know the ones I'm talking about. You had another term for them, so go ahead and say it.
The platform was the BBC, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, Doctor Who, effects.
Yeah, you got those effects. You got these. I don't even know. I don't know the proper term for those effects, but when you watch it, you'll see it.
Oh, you can't miss it.
Yeah, you'll see it. It's there, and you know what? I guess that would put some people off to it. I guess,
That was my
but
own
I
right.
I don't think they're overused. If that makes sense.
They're overused.
Well, what I mean is, it's when they use it, it kind of makes sense that they did it. You
No,
know what I mean? It's not when they're using it a lot when Dracula is like biting people and showing his fangs.
it it
And
it, it was uncalled for.
well, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that effect hasn't aged well. But I'm saying when they did use it, it wasn't like we're going to use it again and again and again and again and again. It wasn't like that. It
Sure,
I do think it would have worked better if they didn't do it, and I would have rather they didn't because it
I
really
rather they,
did not age well at all.
no. If they can go back and if they
If
can
you could take
remaster it, cut that shit out, that'd be great.
Yeah, take that out, please. Take it out. Um, but you can't miss it. You'll know exactly what we're saying. So I mean, I think that is probably the worst bit of it, uh, and maybe this too. Lucy in the coffin. That doesn't look great.
No,
Where she gets, where she gets staked.
yeah, that was that was.
I mean, it probably looks really great for a TV movie. I mean, there's blood in this. I mean, this is not a.
They did. Hey, remember when we was talking about them hammering a steak with a wooden?
Yeah, they had wooden mallets. They did it. Wooden mallets on this one, but they were better about it. So,
Oh, gosh.
yeah. So that out of the way. That's probably the worst bit is those effects and how it's dated in that way. But I mean, they got the stuff where the gypsies are loading up the earth boxes, making the earth box. There's a bit where they track down the earth boxes. You kind of see some of that. They allude to it. There's even a line where I think Van Helsing asks Harker, "How was your investigation over at blah blah blah?" And they're looking for the earth box,
Yeah,
which they don't really do. And they did 50 earth boxes in this one too, right?
yeah, sure did.
Yeah, they did. They did all that. They don't really hardly ever do 50 earth boxes.
Yeah,
But
or do the earth boxes at all.
yeah, I mean, I think in Bela Lugosi he took like 3 boxes or something,
Yeah.
and they'll take very very few boxes in any of the other ones.
Um. Okay. Only ones I know that they took a box, which was just the coffin. That was it.
Yeah, yeah. So the ending, they get that right too, pretty much. And what I mean is,
I'm hearing
you
something.
talked about you talked about it a little bit. They split up, and it's not 100% right, but they split up to find Dracula, and that is Van Helsing and Mina
Yeah,
go one way, and Dr. Seward, Harker, and Quincy go on horseback the other way, split all up. So Van Helsing gets to kill the brides, and
yeah,
you get to see a fun little showdown where he puts her in a protective circle and rips up the. He doesn't rip it up. He tears it reverently. The Blessed Sacrament and protects Mina, and they can't come in. I thought that was pretty good scene where they were like they walked all the way up there and it was like a wall there. They were doing that whole mime thing, walking against the wind stuff.
yeah. But there was also too. Nina couldn't walk out the circle.
Yeah, and she couldn't leave, and she tells him because he says, "I'm trying to protect you" or something to that effect. She says, "Well, I'm safe with them, and you're not."
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, he just had to stay in the circle too. They couldn't get him either.
Yeah.
But they run off, and he kills them, and it's better in the book, but it's done pretty decently in this. And then you get to the showdown. You want to talk about the very end because they do show them going to get all of Dracula's boxes. They find him. They make it so he can't lay in them, so that's why he goes back to the castle because he's got nowhere else to rest. And if they find his one box, he's screwed.
Which they
So,
find this one book.
so there's that cool scene which isn't in very many of the movies where Dracula catches him, and this is in the book where he catches him blessing his earth boxes, and he gets mad and he taunts them and he calls them names and such and stamps his feet like a little baby. And Van Helsing later in the book calls him that. Little baby's mad at us, something like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, so he runs off,
Oh,
and yeah, then they leave, and I mean, this was a pretty cool scene where they fight the gypsies there. So, do you want to talk about that?
so yeah, the gypsies got Dracula's technically like last box with him in it, and they get ambushed by Quincy and Jonathan, and Lucy kills one of them. Well, not Lucy. Mina kills one of them, and they end up chasing them into the city, and Quincy dies because he got shot. He died of his wounds, and they get to the box and they open it up, and Van Helsing, the first thing he do is he pulls the stakes out and he stabs Dracula in the heart, and then Dracula just turns into dust, which I don't think that's
Right.
supposed to happen.
What's that?
I don't even think that was supposed to happen.
Oh yeah, that's not how he dies in the book. You remember? Oh, you haven't gotten there yet.
I was like, I don't think that's how he's supposed to die.
Yeah, so in the book, Quincy stabs the Count in his heart with a Bowie knife.
Oh,
And I believe Harker slits his throat, cuts his head off. I think that's how it is in the book.
damn.
But in this one, Van Helsing's got this massive wooden stake and just stabs him.
Big old toothpick.
I thought it was pretty good. You didn't want him to. You didn't want him to hesitate or anything like that.
Which is funny because they seem like they always hesitate.
Yeah,
Frank
some of them do. Yeah, they do.
like, I'm going to stake him in the heart, and then I'm gonna wait for a second to see if he wakes up. Oh no, I'm glad you said that part. The part
Yep.
where when Jonathan is in the castle, he discovers who Dracula is, and he see him in the coffin, and he takes the shovel and start, like, I don't know if he was like beating him with.
Oh yeah, yeah. He like beat him in the face with a shovel. I I don't remember if that's in the book, but it was really cool because he beat him in the face with a shovel, and Dracula looks at him and smiles.
Right. I was like, "Are you serious right now?"
Like, I thought that was really cool. And then,
Arthur darted over and ran. He was like, "What the heck?"
so I guess Dracula was lucky that he did not try to chop his head off correctly with the shovel, that he just was trying to beat him in the face with the shovel.
That was crazy. I forgot all about that till just now.
Yeah, yeah, I did too. But yeah, this would you say this was worth watching?
Yes.
I mean, even with the
With the
badly dated bits of effects that they have in there.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I
Everybody
mean,
had
like we said, the performances are good. Everybody is actually pretty good in this.
yes.
I mean, Dracula, and we haven't even said this. Dracula even has hairy palms, just like he does in the book.
Yes, he really do.
I think some of the things that aren't, I mean, the other things that they don't get right, Dracula isn't old in the beginning. He doesn't have a mustache, and his ears are not right.
You're right.
Which
Well,
his ears are rarely right.
not pointy, but yeah,
But other than that, I thought Louis Jourdan was a very good Dracula.
he was. He was a very scary Dracula.
So it would have been interesting to see this with some fantastic. And that's one of the biggest problems of this. What I think I told you before you watch this, that the problem with this is it's not as cinematic as I would have liked it to be, but it's a TV movie. But
Yeah.
there are some very nice shots in it, and some very nice camera work. And in
Well,
particular, one of a really cool shot, and we haven't even talked about this yet, is when Van Helsing is confronting Dracula at some point. Um,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
he is showing him a cross, and the light from the cross reflects onto his face, and you get to see a really cool cross on Dracula's face.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
That was cool. And the thing is, I watched a lot of BB. Well, of course I have. I watched a lot of
Yes, yes, you have.
a lot of British TV um, when I was younger, and still do as I'm older. And I'm used to I'm, I'm used to the camera angles and effects and the backgrounds and stuff like that. And that's what I love about the British TV shows, because it's a different feeling. It's not like, all glitz and glamour, definitely on certain techniques and stuff that they did. Um, like I said, the only gripe that I have, like, if they didn't added that extra stuff, it was like a sci-fi movie, which that's what that's there for. But to me, if they didn't add that in there, the
Yeah,
show awesome
yeah, yeah.
to me.
So, yeah. So, where do you think you've gotten what about halfway through the book?
Yeah, halfway through the book.
So,
I'll
where
probably
does
be
one?
tomorrow.
This one? I'll be interested to hear what you think when you finish the book about how close you think this one is once you finish the book.
Well,
Uh,
from the beginning, only thing I can give is from the beginning of the
yeah,
movie, from the book that I read so far, well, heard so far. Um, it's been hitting. It's been hitting really good. Um, definitely in basically the castle, with him being locked up and stuff like that, because they feel like he was a prisoner in there, and um, in the way how Dracula, because Dracula, the way how Dracula is in this TV movie is how he kind of is in the book. He's mellow. He's not aggressive. He's just cool, calm, collect. Oh, okay. Well, no. That's basically
yeah,
what he would say. Like, oh, I agree with you, but no. I'm like,
yep,
dang, what the hell? Like, that's what I get out of it from what I listen to, and then what in this TV series. Like,
absolutely.
I really enjoy it. I really do. I'm glad we're doing this. But the book is very, very awesome. And I think they did a great job of following the book as close as they could.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I don't think I can say it any better than you just did. So I think we've come to the end of this one. And there's still a lot we could talk about with this one.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot in this.
There's a lot there. So
Yeah,
yeah, we just wanted to hit the main points, the big main points.
yeah. Because we
And
talk about sleepwalking and how that played into it and all that stuff. So yeah,
yeah,
a lot of.
maybe if you haven't seen this one, definitely check this one out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're yeah, I don't know, maybe you'll find something because it took me a little while to see this. Um, I'd always known that it was there, and then when I finally watched it, I mean, it really did strike me at how close it was to the book.
Okay.
And would you watch this again at some point?
Yes, I will watch it again, even though the crazy effects that's in it. Yes, I'll watch it again.
All right. Yeah, I would too. So yeah, we're coming close to the end of October here, and we are coming close to the end of these Dracula movies based on the book. So we'll just see how much longer we keep going. Maybe we will go into November with these. I don't know. What do you think, Brandon?
I think we will. I mean, it's a lot of Dracula movies out there, and I think it's a lot of Dracula movies that a lot of people don't know about. Like, I don't think a lot of people knew about this particular BBC Dracula. I know they probably
Oh
know.
yeah, that's a good point. Did you know about this before I said, "Hey, let's watch this one and do this one too"?
No, I didn't.
Ouch. Well, all right. Well, I got one person to watch it. There you go. All right. Well, we'll say goodbye, and we'll talk to you all next time.
Later, guys.